Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Squawk by Randall. So the constraints in this puzzle are normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, arrows, and parity diamonds. So if you don't know what those are, I'm going to go over them now. So 6x6 Sudoku rules, that means in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have arrows in the grid. So you see the arrows with an arrowhead, and then there's a circle attached. So the digits on the arrow sum to the value in the circle. So if this was, say, 2, 4, that sums to 6, we put a 6 in the circle. All right, that's arrows. In addition to that, we have parity diamonds. So parity is just a fancy math word for even or odd, but it's the property of being even or odd. So it's a really handy word to use for that. So cells separated by a white diamond have opposite parity, meaning one of them will be even and one of them will be odd. So if this is, say, a 1, that's our odd. This needs to be even. It needs to be a 2, 4, or 6. Digits separated by a black diamond have the same parity. So they're either both even or both odd. So maybe this would be 1, 5, or maybe this would be 2, 4. But what we can't do is mix parities like 1, 4. And that's it. Those are the rules. There is a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, so we know that these two are opposite parities, right? One's even, one's odd. So I guess the important thing to sort of internalize is two of the same parity always add to an even number, and two of opposite parities always add to an odd number. Another really interesting way to think about things is an even will preserve, so if we're summing an even, if we're adding an even number to something, it preserves the parity. It'll either stay even or stay odd. And if we add an odd number to something, it switches the parity. So if we were even, now we're odd. If we were odd, now we're even. So these are opposite parities, which means they add to an odd number, which means this is an odd number. I'm going to use orange for odd, which is always what I do. I use orange for odd and blue for even. We know these are the same parity. We don't know if they're both even or both odd, but either way, they do sum to an even number. So that's even. Same here. This sums to an even number. These sum to an odd number. These are all the same parity as each other, which means they are all even because these are the same parity adding to an even. And then now this has to be even and this has to be even. Now, the other thing to remember is that in the digits 1 to 6, there are 3 evens and 3 odds. And this row has one of each digit, right? So we have all 3 of the evens for the row, meaning these all have to be odd. We knew this had to be odd anyway because these are opposite parity, but that reinforces that. We're on the right track. These are the same parity, so it's even. In fact, all of these are even. And all of these are odd because that's what's left for the boxes. And so these are opposite parity, so that's odd. These are the same parity, so that's odd as well. If these were both odd, we would have 4 odds in the box, and there's only 3 odds available. So these have to be even. Now we have all 3 evens for the column, so this is odd. That makes this also odd. Now this box has 3 odds, so these are the 2 evens left. These have to be opposite parity, so that's odd. Okay, take a deep breath. For the row, this is odd. We have all 3 odds for the box, so these are even. These have to be the same parity, and also we have to finish the column, so they're both odd. These are both even for the multiple reasons. This 3 is odd, which we could have marked right at the start. This is even to finish off the box. This is odd for the row. This is even for the row, column, and box. And now we're fully colored. So we've done the coloring part of the puzzle. Now we just have to get digits. Well, these are the 2 evens that aren't the biggest one, right? So 2 plus 4 is 6. That means this is a 2, 4 pair as well. This is 2 plus 4 is 6. These are 2, 4, 6, but we can't have 2 odds add to 2. So that's not going to be the 2. Does mean the 2's in one of these. So where's the 2 in this column? Well, this is a 2, 4 pair, so we already knew that. This is a 6 for the box, because we know where the 2, 4 are. This is a 6 for the row. This is a 2 or a 4. This is 2 odd numbers adding to an even, so it's not going to be 2. It's only 4 or 6. This is 2 or 4. You can't put 6 on an arrow. It's already too big if you do that. To the 2, we could add a 3, but we can't add it higher than that. So this is 1 or 3. And so that means this is 3 or 5, clearly. In fact, all the odd circles are always going to be 3 or 5. This is 1 or 3. 2 odds adding to an even. It involves a 1, right? We can't do 3 plus 5. If we did 3 plus 5, that would be 8. So this involves a 1. but we already knew that from the column anyway. In fact, we can just put, let's see, I'm trying to avoid just penciling 1, 3, 5 in all of these, but okay, these add to an even, so these don't involve the, well, these do involve the 1. We already knew that though. This is a 1, 5. There we go. Does that help? 5 is too big. We can't do 5 plus 2. That's too big. So this has to be the 1. That's the 5. There we go. That's a 1. We get the 3 here. So 1 plus 2 is 3. We get D in the corner. That's a 4. That's a 2. All right. What else do we have going on here? So this is 3 or 5 to add to 4, 6. There's probably something obvious I'm missing. Just have to scan the right thing. These are 1, 5. This is 3, 5. We have a 1, 3 pair here, so this has to be 5. That's 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. Gives us the 6 and the 4. This has to be 1 plus 3 to make 4. We actually know the order. That's 1 and 3. That's 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. That's a 2. We get our 4 and our 2. We get our 1 and our 5. That all works out. That's 5 and 1. This is the 6. We get our 5 here. This has to be a 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. That's a 2. 4 and 2. And our final digit's a 3, and we're done. Nice puzzle, Randall. I enjoyed that we could just get all the coloring out of the way and then fill in the digits. That was fun. Had to pay attention to the arrows a bit to figure out how that worked. And there was this 1, 3 pair here. That was an interesting spot. Cool. I love how the parity puzzles usually end up being 2 puzzles in one. Like you solve the evens and then you solve the odds, things like that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.